Hello there, good morning. I was a little bit late getting sorted this morning. I think that's the bank holiday feeling. Please do let me know if you can hear me. Morning, Anne. Morning, Fiona. Can hear me. Brilliant. Hi, Jill. Hope you're all good. It always throws us out, doesn't it, these bank holidays? I was convinced yesterday was Sunday. Then I had rehearsal last night, which made me realise it wasn't. So anyway, we're here to our lovely Tuesday morning coffee and card. Hi, Anne. Both Annes. We've got 7 on so far. This is week 5 of round 41. Very important day today because, hi, Diane. Lovely to have you on. Morning latte. I'm just having a normal coffee in my lovely big Starbucks mug. Well, I've got 3 of these. Evan collects them for me. So this one's Paris, and I've got London and Amsterdam. So it's really important day today because it's the closing day for bookings for the next coffee and card. It starts 2 weeks today. So I always close them 2 weeks today or 2 weeks before the event. And it's going really well, this one. I'm really pleased with it, but it's a Christmas one and it's a classical, traditional one. So that always does quite well. So more of that in a second. You may have seen on my stories over the weekend if you're on Facebook or Instagram, but I'll share on here. I think I mentioned it last week briefly. I thought the hopes of Craig and I earning the Disney trip were just too far away this year. And I know I keep going on about it, but I've been privileged and lucky enough to have been on, well, I've earned, not been on them physically because some were cancelled due to COVID and things, but I've been privileged to have earned every trip in the UK since they started. I'm only one of only 3 demos who have done this, and less than 1% globally do this. I have to say that as a disclaimer. And I must admit, I was struggling to accept that we wouldn't get it. And then Sandra's just said hello. And then Sandra, who's a hobby demo in my team, she got to qualified status, which got me some nice chunk of points towards a trip. And another one of my team promoted, and that got some points. And I thought, hang on a minute, can I do this? So I've crunched the numbers, and it's still a massive undertaking. And at the end of the month, this month, I'm likely be, and this probably won't mean anything to you, but I'm likely to be sort of 2,000 points behind where I was last year. But I thought I was going to be like over 5,000 points away. So there is a small glimmer. So I've been sharing on my stories updates, and people have really responded to it, and it's really, and I just thought, just go for it, Julie, because if nothing else, you're just going to get more people doing classes and you're going to share the Stampin' Up love. So the end of the qualifying period is the end of September. So working, I keep glitching, I think. How rude. I think I keep freezing. But so going all guns out until the end of September. So that being said, what I want to share with you is from now until the end of this week, until the 31st, I'm offering mystery boxes for an order over £50 on my online store. I have 12 boxes. They're like this. They contain 5 items that will be valued over £60, probably a stamp set, definitely some papers, maybe some dies or a punch, and then 2 other items. It could be another stamp set, it could be some embellishments. But then one of the boxes, and I don't know which one, has a brand new bundle, the Country Flowers bundle, which we did those gorgeous cards with on the treat day. Anyway, So with the, well, the birdhouse is part of the suite, but it's the other one, the floral one. So that's in one of the boxes, a bit like a golden ticket. So that's a little sweetener, just a little extra, because I ordered it wrong for a customer and then I ended up with a spare, and I thought, what can I do? I'm not allowed to do raffles and things or prize draws. So I've popped it in one of the boxes. Who's going to get it? Now, 4 boxes have already gone. So I've had 4 lovely orders in over the weekend, but I've still got 8 boxes left. Now, one of these 8 could still contain this bundle, and I don't want to be left with it. So that's, I've got a little reminder for that. I've also launched a paper share for the mini catalogue papers. Now, if you're anything like me, you know, I love my papers. If you feel like you don't want any more stamp sets at the moment or dies, then papers is a good way to go because they always make your stamp sets look refreshed, I find. So I'm going to share some of the papers now. It's all the papers bar one from the mini catalogue, and it's not included that little pack that's got the frames and things because it's very hard to split that up. So I'm going to quickly, a lot of these aren't opened, so you're going to get a quarter of a pack. So I've not even turned the camera over. Honestly, I'm a little bit frenzied because I've got so much to do, and I've got so many ideas, and yeah, it's all in my head at the minute. So thank you, Anne. Do we have to order? No, you can order it via me, Jill, and you can come and collect, or I will post on to you. Thank you for that question. Really good question. I just want to remind, if you've not redeemed your bonus day coupons, then it's the last week to redeem those. And the £50 spend has to be after the coupons have been applied. So I've got some people who've got 2 or 3 coupons to redeem. So these are some of the papers. Now we've got some gorgeous autumn 6x6 papers. I'm not going to get them all out. I'll probably do a separate video to advertise my paper share. These nice green and red ones, and then these lovely gold foil elegant ones. So you're going to get a quarter of a pack. Then we've got these ones that remind me of Christmas in the 70s. They're called Sentimental Wishes. They're lovely. And then we've got these sort of more autumn regal ones, really opulent florals, dark colours. And then sort of more of the Christmas ones that I've already shared with you. So all the Christmassy, I shared the reindeer ones with you and the penguin ones, and also those lovely winter nest ones are included. But I wanted to share some of the cards that I've made. These are from a team get together tonight, but these are with the reindeer suite, and this is a suite that I'm using at Paper Crafts and Piano in October, which we're struggling for bookings, but I'm going to do a little something to get the bookings. But this is a reindeer days, so I've just made these nice cards. I hope you think they're nice. Some simple ones, just showing how the papers can. And the stamp sets that I've used, this one is Peaceful Season, which is part of the Treat Day offering. And so is this one. Now I'm going to come back to this one. And this one is Wishing You and Yours a Season of Wonder and Happiness. That's Peaceful Season in the new mini. Now my mini catalogues will be going out soon, and I've still got my mini catalogue launch. So I've just loads going on. It's all spinning. So this was just to really advertise the paper share. So I've told you about that. World Card Making Day is coming up on the 5th of October, and I'm going to be doing something a little different. I'm going to be doing a class featuring this little number, the hexagon punch. Now, some of you have this already, and I use this loads. And if you already have it, there'll be a price just for the papers and the kits. But if you don't have it,
it's just the best punch. So we're going to be doing like lots of these patchwork cards, and I got this idea from Patty Bennett using the hexagon punch, but I'm going to be including a selection of different papers and die cuts, so we can make a selection of different style cards on World Card Making Day. So that's on the 5th of October. Okay, so yeah, I know I went through those papers really quickly. I will do a separate video on my YouTube because I've got so much going on. But you know what? People have been so responsive when I felt so cheeky and awkward saying about the Disney thing, particularly because everybody helped us get to Mexico last year and then we couldn't go because of our operation. I felt really cheeky, and but people have been so responsive, so I'm going for it. If we get to Disney, Craig just won't know what's hitting. So bookings closed. My final thing I want to share with you. Oh no, I've got another one, but that's, yeah. These are some cards and what we're doing at the next round of coffee and card, which starts on, well, 2 weeks today, 10th of September. And so far I have had, let me just double check, 18 bookings, which is the most. No, it's not the most yet. The last Christmas one I did when I was trying to get Mexico, I got 19 people. So I want to at least get 19 and equal that. If I could get 21, so 3 more bookings, then I like to get an odd number because then I get the even number when I'm cutting the kits. So there are 4 different options. There's one just for the papers, which are gorgeous. There's an option just for the stamps, which are these. There's an option just for the dies, which are like these lovely tags, all stitched. Or there's an option for the whole bundle, which I'm thrilled to say that 7 of you have gone for the whole bundle, which is amazing. And if you do go for the whole bundle, I'm putting in an extra reel. Well, I'm putting in a whole reel of ribbon and some extra cards so you can do some tags. This ribbon is £9.50 a roll. It's just the most gorgeous soft ribbon. And yeah, so bookings is going to close for that tonight. I will update the customer group. That's on my list to update about everything, what's happening this week. And then finally, I've not got this to share with you, but we've got some amazing new scrapbooking kits coming out and a scrapbooking range, a new range coming out on the 4th of September. And I'm so excited, and this is why I'm going for the Disney, because I think this could help me. So we've taken over Close to My Heart, and they excelled at scrapbook kits. And these kits, we're going to be selling 12 by 12 cardstock, and it's going to be 2-tone, it's going to be textured. We're going to be selling it in all of our colours, but we're going to be bringing it out gradually. So the first release only has 5 colours that you can buy individually, and the rest come in the scrapbook kits. But the scrapbook kits come in a 12 by 12 sort of like sealed bag, and you get instructions and you get papers, card, die cuts, all sorts to do the scrapbook pages. And there's going to be a stamp set you can add on, and they start at £24 for the Snowy Wonder one, and then there's another Christmas one, a Reindeer Days. There's an autumn one which is absolutely stunning, and it's gorgeous papers. I'm ordering that as soon as I can next week. And then there's a Halloween one which again is fab. And so they range from £24 up to £40, but they have loads in cardstock, die cuts, extras, papers. So yeah, they're really good, and I can't wait. We've not got albums coming out yet, but you do get like this sealed bag. But what I'm going to do as part of my club, as a little offer, everyone who joins up the club, I'm going to buy you one of these little pockets to keep your layouts in that you've completed. It's traditional scrapbooking. It's not like Project Life, Memories and More. I'm going to buy you one of these when you join the scrapbook club, and you can keep your pages in until the albums become available. So I'm really excited about that. I've only just sort of started getting it all together. I've got a scrapbook group on Facebook that I've just started, and I'm going to be doing monthly class on Zoom where we can all scrapbook together on a Wednesday evening, apart from one when I've got a rehearsal for Sister Act. And there's also going to be in person on a Saturday afternoon. So it's going to be the first Wednesday in the month, and the first Saturday in the month, starting in October, just starting off straight away. So I am so excited. Yeah. So Fiona, the Zoom, I'm hoping to do a workaround. The Zoom will be streamed to the private Facebook group. Okay, so people can be on Zoom. I think it's important that we see each other and you can see what other people are creating, especially for something like scrapbooking, but it will be streamed to Facebook group for anybody who doesn't have Zoom, doesn't do Zoom, or doesn't want to be on a Zoom. Sandra, I think you have signed up for the green and gold one. Sorry, I'm just good morning, Linda. I'm having a good week, yes. So I hope that answers that, Fiona, but it's still in the planning stage, as it were. But I'm really excited about it. I can't order the stuff until next Wednesday when the mini catalogue goes live. So I think I might be staying up late on Tuesday night to order it because I've got a big order to go in. So yeah, I've got other classes that are available for booking, but I don't want to overwhelm you. So just the couple of things that are time sensitive are the coffee and card that closes today, bonus day coupons, and my mystery boxes. They're the time sensitive things for this week. Okay, so look out for other classes. My World Card Making Day class. Let's get on with some crafting because I've done 17 minutes of just marketing. So this is, let me lower my camera. This is today's card, which I shared with you last week. Okay. Now, the only stamping today is the greeting, and I'm actually using one of my favourite stamp sets, Simply Said. If you're a new crafter, or if you want to get anyone into crafting, then this is a really good starter stamp set. It has got 10 stamps and it's £16. Yeah, Fiona, that would be great. I think I'm doing Monday 4th of November is the November one, and that will be Halloween. I don't expect that to be popular, but I know some people do have Halloween photos. I wasn't massively into it, but I still have pictures of the kids when they went trick-or-treating. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. Now, in our kits, we have a piece of white. There's a lot in here today. You've got your white card base. There's a lot of layers, all right? And I need you to concentrate. So let's hear a yes, Julie. So I'm going through it because I cut these out like over a month ago. You've got a white card base, and then you've got a piece of white card. And that is the same size as the card base. Now, it is for this white layer here behind that. So it's bigger than it needs to be, but it's just easier for me to cut it into a quarter, the A4. So we've got that. Then we've got two pieces of navy. One is slightly larger than the other, so please check those out. The larger one is the full size of the A6, and we are going to cut that down, but the larger one is going to go there. There's so many layers here. So we've got the navy layer, then we've got some paper, then we've actually got a white layer, and then we've got a navy layer that's going to go on top of that. And again, this is bigger than it needs to be, all right? Because when I did this, I normally, with my layers, have 1/2 centimetre, but it was just too wide. So I've gone for really narrow layers. And I'll be quite frank with you, I can't even remember the measurements. So we're just going to see how this goes. Don't cut anything until you're sure. Then you've got a little stitch stylish shape circle and a piece of balmy blue scrap for the happy birthday. And I'm hoping you should also have some linen thread, my favourite. We've got some new linen threads coming out in the Christmas catalogue. which is part of the treat day, the gorgeous coloured linen thread. Yes, Julie. Yes, Julie. Yes, miss. Okay. So I'm going to grab my papers too. So for this one, bear with. We are using, do you know, I've still got so much paper left. And don't forget, I make two. I end up making two of every one. And I've got so much left. So you need to find that orange one because we're using that on the back. So that it's easy to find that side. Okay. And then I've used the one with 2 lemons. So we need our lemon page. A lemon sheet. Okay. And I think, yes, that's the one I've used in the background as well. Now, it seems a shame to cut that up when it's got lovely lemons on the back. So I think, actually, I'm going to use this one. It's that on the back. So let's use that one instead. Now, I'm not going to be able to type all of these measurements because my laptop's on my windowsill and it's really hard to reach over sometimes. So if I can suggest, if you just take a moment, if you actually are crafting along and not just watching first, just take a moment to grab a pencil and paper or a pen and paper to write some measurements down. Okie dokes. The first one we are going to do is the larger, we'll do it slowly and together. And it's the larger Night of Navy. So I'm just checking, that's my larger piece. And a ruler, you know, is always my best friend. Julie's best friend is the ruler. So this one is actually very, very easy. This one is 10 centimetres wide. You can write this down, 10. So we're just cutting a slither off. Oh, that's great news, Anne. By 14.3 and a tiny bit. It's like 14.3 and a half. Okay. And that is going to go on here. Like that. All right. Now, normally, I would cut my next layer down. Let me see what I've done with this. Got a feel I would go to 9.5, but I've got a feeling I've done it a little bit bigger. Yes. So I might just come down by 3. Actually looks like I've only come down 1, but I'm going to come down by 3 with the paper. So if you write this down, I'm going to cut it. The other one was 10, if you remember. I'm going to cut it at 9.7 by, well, just over 14, 14 and a half, 14 and a sniff. Okay, so that should be 0.3 centimetres smaller. And it just leaves just a little more subtle border. Yeah. So I've just come down 0.3 or 3 millimetres. Okay. So we'll layer that on there. We're building our layers up. Our next layer is the white. Goodness knows what this one is. Just do what we want, really. I think I have. Oh, I can see what I've done there, 12.8. Yeah. Okay, so with the white, we're going to do it 2 centimetres smaller than the whole thing. So we're going to do it at 8.5 wide. So I'm just going to let you write this down. Yes, Fiona, I'll send you one. I'll write you on my list at the end of the thing if I remember. 8.5 wide. Just to let you know, the new scrapbooking range, you can take time to write this down. 8.5, it's going to be by 12.8 and a sniff. Because they've brought this range out so quickly, and the time turnaround has been fantastic. I've been so impressed. It's not going to be printed at this moment in time until next year in an actual catalogue. So they've produced a digital standalone brochure for it. So it's 8.5 by 12.8 and a sniff, okay? And that's going to go there. I've been worried about this card because I remember doing it and the measurements were a bit, yeah. So it was 8.5. Right, let's try. I'm going to try. Don't cut anything. I'm just experimenting. I'm going to cut this at 8.2. So don't cut anything yet. I'm just going to write it down. Where's my pen? Oh, don't cut anything yet, girls. I'm just going to try that. Oh, yeah, I like that. I like that. Look, I've got a nice little white bit. So this navy one that I've just cut, I will go through all these, is 8.2 by 12.5. So it's 0.3 smaller again. I will go through all these. Okay, that's going to go there. Now this is the tricky bit now. This is the tricky bit because to get this right, this is the bit I've been dreading, because these three, there's a gap in between them, all right? So I just have to concentrate and get my maths head on. So I know I want 0.3 border. So the length of the navy was 12.5. So I know if I do 12.2 for my length, I'm going to be good. Okay, so I'm cutting my length first. So that's 12.2. And I know, yeah, that I've got 0.3. So I need 0.3 at each side, 0.3. This is me working out 0.3 and 0.3. Then I need one there and one there. So I need 4.3s, which is 1.2. Okay. Right, let's work this out. Okie doke. Yes. So the navy card was 8.2 wide. So if I just cut this at 7, I'm just figuring this out, okay? And then I need to divide 7 by 3, which obviously doesn't really go, because 2.5 would be 7 by 3. So if I do 2.3, 2.3, that's as good as, right, okay. So I'm going to cut it. I'm just experimenting, so let's see how it goes. And then I'll go through it. This is just because I didn't want my borders to be as big and I wanted it to be a bit different. I bet you hate me for today's card. But if this works, girls... Oh no, that's going to be too... that gap's too big. That gap's way too big. What have I done? Right, ignore me. That needs to be point... Right, ignore me. Start again. This is why I cut it first. I'm going to do 7.5. What a video, eh? How did I do that? That one 7.5. Sorry, I'm not reading your comments because I'm just having a mini meltdown inside. Right. I'm wasting paper. It's only paper. That's it. Maybe 2.4 might be a bit... Do you know what? I'm going to go for that. I think that's what I did last time. You might want to do it at 2.4, but yeah, I think that's going to be fine. So I'm going to start from the beginning with all the measurements, all right? Yep. Hi, Zana. Zana. I said it right last time, and now I've probably said it wrong. Okay, so I'm going to go through this starting with the biggest piece. So we've got our card base. Then the navy, if you want to write this down, was 10 by 14.3 and a little bit. The paper was 9.7 by 14. The white was 8.5 by 12.8. The navy is 8.2 by 12.5. And then these pieces, what you do is you cut one piece at 7.5, okay, and then you cut them down into 3 by 12.2, sorry, and then you cut them down to 2.5 width. You could probably get away with cutting one to 2.4 and that would work probably better. Right, let's build that up. Let's build it up, Buttercup. So I'm gluing down my navy, which is 10 by 14.3 and a little bit. So this has got like the regular size border that we do. Then, oh phew, I just thought I was putting my linen thread round and I don't need to do that yet. Then I'm gluing down my paper, the like tiled pattern, which is 9.7 by 14 centimetres. This is a smaller border. Okay, then I just want you to put that to one side now, because we're then going to take our next sort of set of layers and we're going to glue our navy to the white. So the white was 8.5 by 12.8. This is for you to double check. And the navy was 8.2 by 12.5. So basically all we've done for some of these layers is we've just shaved 0.2 centimetres off. Okay, so we've got that. And then we're going to put our little layers on top. Oh, that fits well actually. Oops, I need a new tape. what I'm going to do is use my glue. Yes, it will be used on other things. So if you missed the beginning of the video, please do go back and listen, because I've got some important updates and things that I'd love you to have a listen to or watch. Oops. There we go. So we get a little bit of navy in between those. Yeah, can we see? Looks nice, doesn't it, that? Okay, so we've got these two sections, and then that's going to go on there like that. But before we do that, we need to cut out our lemon. I'm going to use one that's got 2 on. I've lost all track of time. Oh, it's 7 minutes past 11. So these papers, if you did want some more, they are 15% off until the end of this, well, until the end of this month. Until Saturday only. And if you're shopping on my store, remember, if you spend over £50 before postage, etc., I do have 8 mystery boxes of goodies left to be claimed. Now, just to let you know, if you have claimed one, they will be sent out once the thank you gifts that I order at the end of the month have arrived. Okay, so how we're going to do this is, let me just check what I did. I'm just checking my layers because I made this absolutely yonks ago. So I am going to tie a double layer of linen thread around. And what I do first is, how I do this is, I grab the linen thread and I tie it sort of loosely. I tie a bow first, loosely. I'm actually tying this at the wrong side, but it doesn't matter because it's going to get taken off anyway. So I just look at that and think, I want my ends a little bit longer than that. So I'll actually cut it a bit longer there, and I'll undo that. And then I go back to my linen thread and I use that as a guide, as a template for how long I want, oops, the other piece. So we're having 2 pieces the same length. And I want it to be on the left when it's the right way up. I always like tying things upside down. Don't ask me why, it seems to work better. So what you want to do is get your linen threads the same, and then we're going to tie them both at the same time. Now, if you can't get it really tight, I've got a little trick for you. So I'm just going to tie a bow. I'm not even doing the 2 loops and crossing over them, just doing it like I do my laces. Okay, and then I've got my bow there. And I can zhuzh about with that. Now, let me just, that's not I'm not happy with that because it's not very tight across the back of the card. Yep. And I want it to be a little bit higher up because it's actually a bit higher than the middle. So the idea is this circle's going to go over the top of it. So I'm going to move that over to the left a tiny chunk. Like that. I want it less, want just about an inch or so there, and then a bigger gap here. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is flip that over, and I'm going to grab some tape. Okay, and I'm going to pull this from one end and tape it down, make it pull tight, and then pull it from the other end and tape it down. And you see that's that bit of slack there in the middle, and it's nice and tight there. Actually going to glue this down over the linen thread. Now you're thinking, oh, it might not glue down because you're doing it over, but we'll give it a good go because there's already 2 layers. You'll see what I mean in a second. So we'll get that in the middle. I'm going to hold it over the linen thread. Okay, like that. Now this piece is actually going to have foam pads on it. You don't have to, but I really like having a little bit of dimension on this card. This one actually was cased. I copied this one from a lady whose cards I love. She's called Rochelle Block. Started using this because my fingers get all glued up. Yeah, and then I get all stuck. So I started using the spatula end of my Take Your Pick tool. I could use the other, you know, the sharp end, but I find this really great for starting, getting the ends started. It's really good tool, this, and we've got interchangeable bits. So you've got like the bit with the putty on the end that makes you pick things up. It's sticky. So yeah, if you want one of those, I'm placing an order tonight. And then this with the foam pads is going to go up, so that layer is layered up. Okay, I'm just going to sort this. Oh, that's all right, like that. And then we have our lemon to pop over there. Now I'm going to pop some pads on here, but you need to just chop some down. So the bits that are going to be, pop 2 or 3 in the middle, and then assess where you might need some smaller ones. And I've chopped down the sides of the dimensionals. We do of course have the mini dimensionals, but if you don't have those, and they are a good option, this is an alternative. It's just great for starting, you know, finding the... My nails are rubbish at the minute, so struggling a bit with that. Oops, did I get that one off? Yeah, there we go. Oh, we've not even done any stamping. So look, I'm just showing you today how you can make cards without even stamping. And what I love when I do the linen thread, I love that you see that little bit there and there. I just love that. I just love that little effect. So then, one final bit of stamping. We're going to stamp Happy Birthday in Night of Navy. A lot of people have that colour. And I'm going to stamp it really close to the top of the piece of scrap. Like that. I always get mucked up. Got Night of Navy on my fingers. Oh, thanks, Fiona. Right, I'll have to use a bit of little bit of gel, see if that'll clean them. And then I'm going to take my, oh, I think I've put it away, shock horror. I'm going to take my mini, you know, if we sold this little trimmer or a little guillotine, like, you know, a guillotine style, I'm sure I'd be on the trip already. I get asked. I'm just going to chop this down. And then I'm actually going to chop the Happy Birthday in half. I could actually cut that, it's probably easier to cut it. I do like doing this style if you don't want it all on one length. So we're going to pop that there. And birthday there. Now you just need to be careful. Can you see it balancing? Need to chop. So you need half of it on a foam pad and half of it glued, because it's just to balance it out. So the happy's fine because the happy's fully on the lemon. Oops, nearly upside down then. There we go. It is a very useful guillotine. There we go, there's today's. And apart from the paper around the back, which you can tell it's a little bit different, I've kept it all the same this week. I could have done oranges, couldn't I, to see if we liked oranges better. I do hope you managed with all the measurements. Now, for those of you who have been following me for a while, I did reincarnate my blog a couple of months ago. Maybe haven't updated too much on there, but please do check out my blog. It's just thepaperhaven.co.uk, and I pop a few bits on there and what's happening and things like that, and that's good for maybe those who don't have social media or aren't on there a lot. The best way of hearing from me is on my email newsletter. I normally send a newsletter out on Friday or Saturday every week with all the details of what's going on. I always put a link into the previous week's coffee and card so you can watch it if you missed it. Oh, thanks, Linda. So yeah, that is today's card. And if you have any questions, as I always say, please do drop me an email, and I'm going to make a cuppa and then I'll give you a call about your order and your bonus day coupon, etc. So yes, thanks for sharing. How long have we been on? Oof, 50 minutes this morning. Oh, next week's card. We're doing an A5 card next week. I think I've already shared this with you. We might have to get creative when it comes to an envelope for this. And your card kit is in the big bag. But we're going to do one of, well, I'm not saying the famous, but one of my patchwork style cards, but a bigger version. Because I'm aware that, you know, our cards are quite small that I do. And so I'm doing a larger card. Really should have put the white insert in there, but I'm sure you can. And we'll see what we can do in terms of maybe making an envelope with the leftover paper. You might not want to waste it on an envelope. We don't sell A5 envelopes, unfortunately, but they are readily available. So yeah, that's next week's card. And then the week after will be on the new coffee and card, which bookings close today. So I'm going to go make myself a cup of tea, go to the loo, and I'll be back on admin for Stampin' Up now. I'm Stampin' Up for the rest of the day. So you should, if you do contact me today, you should get a reply from me today, because I'm on Stampin' Up jobs today. So I will see you. I'll probably be online before the end of the week, but catch me on my stories and see how we're doing for the Disney trip. And I will see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.